So I think I saved it here. Was it? Yeah, it's on the first one. Yeah, okay. So I want to see the interaction with these guards and then refreshing my memory.
Halt!
Yes?
You look like a poor beggar. In this town, we have no use for people without money.
But I'm planning to join the city guard.
Ha! Don't make me laugh. Go to the other gate and try and sell that story to them.
I've already been there. They sent me to you.
Oh man, they're always sending us the cream of the crop.
He can't keep anything to himself. Don't tell this to anyone.
How's it going?
Move along.
These are bad times.
I have to bribe this guard too? Interesting.
He'd better shh.
Okay, we won't do that.
You don't say.
I think this bloodfly is actually a bit more harder to kill. I don't think it's a young bloodfly. There's actually two of them, which is going to be a bit tricky. Maybe we can down one of them this way. Oh no, he's moving around. We are going to leave those blightflies alone for now. Guys, let's see our progress. So, oh, 1000 more XP. That's actually not like a small amount. I think the rats are fine to kill. Oh, actually, it does a lot of damage. Those are giant rats. Yeah. We're avoiding them, I guess. So we're kinda entering a different zone of the game. So the game blocks off some parts of it by simply placing stronger monsters there. But we can avoid them. Don't remember if there's like something here. A rusty axe. I was hoping for something like better, though I won't use strength weapon either way. So rats, not touching them. What about mole rats? I don't remember how strong they are at this point. The thing is, we could have kept those farmer clothes and gave them later on to Greg. I don't know why I didn't do that, because I could probably handle these small rats if I had those farmer's clothes. I guess I kinda messed up there. So we'll avoid the monsters as much as we can. And then come back later on. Once we get some decent armor, then we can handle them. So we actually we cannot go through here. I will hug the wall just to show you. Actually, as far as I know, last time I was playing Livers, but I entered the city directly. I didn't really even try it. But as far as I remember, yeah, there's a wall here that you cannot really climb. But if you are persistent enough, you can go around. It is definitely not something that if you're playing the game for the first time, you would try. Maybe you would. I don't know, guys, kinda tell me how you handle that. Maybe in YouTube comments or if somebody is here in chat. I kinda turned off, I had a notification on, well, I could look how many people are in chat, and I removed that because it's really distracting me. And if I kinda know that there isn't, oh, there are more reds there. Are those giant? Yes, they are. Okay, I guess we're loading. Actually, doesn't matter, I think. This one is actually better. So yeah, like the viewer count was really distracting. When there weren't any people in chat, I would kind of slack off and not talk about something or like talk at all because yeah, nobody's watching. So and I don't think that's actually a good thing since it's kind of distracting me. So I won't really look at that number anymore since it's not really that important. And I think it's a better viewing experience for YouTube too if I'm talking about something. So even if somebody's watching this later on. Oh, no. Okay. I'm not going to deal with the boar. Those things are crazy. Okay. Guess we are running again. I should have saved. I don't think we have any more fireballs, so... And I know how much HP boar has. And if we can pull maybe few of them and use Firestorm, we could maybe pull all the rats and everything and use Firestorm on them, but I think it's a waste. So I'm just going to run around. If I get some situation where I think the small Firestorm is really useful, I will use it, but for now I won't. Can't see anything from these trees. At least I think I ditched the boar. I'm on top of the world. Okay, so there's a beach here, which is a kind of interesting overview if you go from here. We will check that a bit later on. For now, let's get into the city. Probably a decent idea to save. And let's go, Leroy Jenkins. Let me see. Yeah, okay. So I kind of jumped in the water from up there because I was wondering, because I know that there's a door here.
I'll never get this open without the right key.
I won't tell you why it's closed at the moment. So I'm trying to like not spoil the storyline. Everything else is kinda okay. Like abilities, skills, everything else. But I don't want to talk about future quests.
I must be crazy. What are you doing here? Did you swim here? That's one way to get past the guards at the city gate.
Hey, Lara, you old scoundrel, how did you get here?
I was able to escape to the Valley of Mines just in time, together with Lee and some of the other boys. You remember Lee, don't you?
Of course I remember Lee.
I got out of the colony with him then, just after the barrier was destroyed. He and his boys are now on the farm of Onar, the landowner. He made a deal with the farmer. He and his boys defend the farm, and Onar feeds them in return.
It's not what I heard. I must talk to the paladins, by any means.
What do you want from them?
They've got a powerful amulet, the Eye of Innos. I must have it.
And you think they'll give it to you? You'll never get into the upper end of town.
I'll find a way somehow.
Sure, if you want to ingratiate yourself with the citizens or play errand boy for the militia.
Do you know why the paladins are here?
Nobody knows for sure. Lots of people think it's because of the orcs, but I think there's another reason. It probably has something to do with the old penal colony.
Tell me more about Lee and his mercenaries.
What do you want to know?
How do I find the landowner's farm?
It's quite simple. You leave the seaport by the east gate and then follow the path towards the east. I can take you there if you want.
Tell me more about the mercenaries.
Well, if you're as tough as you were back then, you shouldn't have any problems with them. Most of them are ruffians, and if you can't stand up to them, you won't get far. If you're squeamish, you don't have a chance of joining them.
Why aren't you with Lee and his mercenaries?
But I am, just not on the farm. You could say I'm our outpost in the city. We don't want the ship to sail without us.
What ship were you talking about?
It's on the open sea harbor, behind the cliffs. Lee and a few of his people really want to get away from here. But that could take a while.
Why?
You'd better ask Lee about that. If you meet him, he's got plans.
Can you teach me something?
Sure. I can help you become stronger and more dexterous if you like.
Okay, so I do want to get some dexterity to use this sword instead of this. Now, the Gothic calculates the damage a bit differently. Well, differently, but it is on the way. So the damage is the damage from the sword plus your strength minus the armor of the enemy divided by 10. And you have your skill, and it's on 10%. That's 10% to do a crit, and then that's times 10 damage, or it's not divided by 10. So even though this weapon requires dexterity, its damage is not boosted by dexterity. So that's kind of, I think, one thing to take into account. So the strength weapons, if you're doing melee characters, are probably better because you need strength to do more damage. So yeah, but I'm going to do dex character, and actually this sword is pretty decent with 20 dex. It does 40 damage, so it's better than this. So I'm going to do 10 strength.
Teach me something.
10 dexterity, sorry. And I will keep my other like 10 points for now. So we have that sword. It's actually... no, it's like a same length, I think. Yeah, it's similar length. And we also get 5% on our one-handers, which is pretty good. And I keep OCD saving.
It's a bad business. Okay,
I cannot leave here until we know more about the missing people, or someone else takes over my duties.
I'd have gone about it differently. Okay, let's go.
I cannot leave here until we know more about the missing.
But no, he insisted.
Okay, so here's the thing, we should have talked to other NPC before we talk to him about those missing people.
It's not what I heard.
So let's backtrack to the entrance of the city and start like talking to NPCs from there.
He never would have thought of that himself.
I wanna see how guards will react if I backtrack through here.
That was obvious all along.
Really OCD.
Don't say you didn't know that.
So if I exit the city and try to go back in,
Halt!
What is it?
You aren't getting in here, my boy.
Why not?
Looking the way you do, we got it.
okay, I will give him herbs.
I'm bringing some herbs for Constantino, the alchemist.
Really? Then you won't mind showing me what you brought. Looks good. All right, in you go. But don't cause any trouble. Understood?
I guess we get even more XP this way. I thought that once you enter the city, you entered it, you won't like get stopped by them again. I also want to try, so let's try to like enter a city a bit and exit it again and enter it again and see if they will stop us again. It would be really bad if I need to also bribe them. No, okay, they are not stopping us. Cool.
Will it ever change?
Halt, stranger. I am Lothar, paladin of the king and humble servant of Innos,
Nobody will learn anything
your
from
lord.
me.
Our commander, Lord Hagen, has entrusted me with the task of explaining to all newcomers the new laws which apply to all inhabitants of the city.
Since people have started simply vanishing all over this town, everyone needs to watch out that they don't suffer the same fate.
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
I have an important message for the leader of the paladins.
The Honorable Lord Hagen is not receiving anyone. Lord Andre, the commander of the city guard, is responsible for all issues pertaining to the common folk.
Opinion about that.
If he doesn't see that, I can't help him. Listen, the city is threatened by dragons.
That can't be true. Another lunatic.
That was obvious all along.
We have enough unrest in the city as it is. And without some dimwit scaring people with fairy tales about dragons,
That's all just gossip.
I immediately locked up the last person who was here telling dragon tales and sent him to the Valley of Mines with the prison transport.
But no,
So mind your
he insisted he
tongue.
knew
We
better.
can't use anyone here who spreads panic among the people.
I've heard of it.
Somebody already reported the dragons here?
Yes. The fellow's name was Diego. I think so, in any case. I warned him just like you. But the lunatic just wouldn't stop getting on my nerves.
I never knew that. I have come to get the Eye of Innos.
The Sacred Eye of Innos. How do you know about that?
Is it really true?
You're not a member of the Order.
A magician told me about it.
I don't know what his motives were when he entrusted one of the secrets of our Order to you. But he certainly didn't mean for you to get your fingers on it.
But
I don't want to hear any more about it. First you start with fairy tales about dragons, and then this. Incredible.
Enough trouble as it is.
the townspeople are simply disappearing?
Yes, it seems to be more every day. It's most annoying that the militia have still not been able to discover what's behind these strange occurrences. Small wonder that the town's inhabitants are very wary of strangers right now. So don't provoke them when you're in town, understood?
All right. Explain the rules of the city to me.
First, the Honorable Paladin Lord Hagen resides in the upper quarters, along with his troops. That is why access to the upper quarter is allowed only to honorable citizens. Second, the town hall in the upper quarter is now the command post of the paladins. Only the paladins themselves and members of the militia have access to it. And third, whoever is accused of a crime must exonerate himself with the commander of the militia. Any questions?
That's all just gossip.
How do I become a citizen of the town?
Only those with regular jobs will be considered citizens of the town. But don't think that you'll be admitted to Lord Hagen just because you're a citizen of the town. As a citizen, you have access to the upper quarter, nothing more. Only as a member of the militia will you have access to the town hall.
Will it ever change?
Where can I find work?
You'll have to apply as an apprentice to one of the masters here in the lower part of the city. As soon as a master accepts you, you are a citizen of the town. However, the other masters must agree to it. That's the custom here in Khorinis. If you were thinking about looking for work in the Harbor District, forget it. The scum of the city live there. Don't even go there. You would regret it.
It was just like you said.
I'm no better off myself.
How do I get to the upper quarter?
Say, are you listening to me at all? You're not a citizen of this town. You can save yourself the trip. The guards won't let you in. The entire area behind the inner gate is off limits to you.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
How do I get accepted into the militia?
By express command of Lord Hagen, only citizens of the town will be admitted into the militia.
I see.
If you want to know more, speak to Lord Andre in the barracks.
You completely.
What do I have to do to get armor like yours?
What? You aren't even a member of the militia! You're not even a citizen! How can you even think of being allowed to wear the armor of a paladin? Only a few militia soldiers, those who have performed extraordinary deeds, have been granted that honor so far. If you want to be a paladin, you have a long road ahead of you, my boy.
This is gonna change.
Do you really?
Where can I find the commander of the city guard?
Lord Andre can be found in the barracks at the other end of the city.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
Where can I spend the night here?
If you're looking for a place to sleep, go to the hotel directly across from the barracks. The paladins pay for the lodging of all travelers who come to the city. The traveling traders from the marketplace are also lodged there.
I've got to go.
If I hear one more time that you are telling people here about dragons, you will be in big trouble. Do I make myself clear?
Pick that up then.
He simply talks too much.
Okay, that was a long conversation. But still, I kinda don't want to skip conversations. Just for... maybe I would have skipped this one if I was not playing or like not recording for YouTube. Because it's kind of boring and I listened to it one too many times. But yeah, I kind of don't like skipping conversations, especially for videos.
Hello, stranger. You must be hungry and thirsty. Perhaps I can interest you in my wares.
I was actually on my way to see the paladins.
There's little chance of that. Since the paladins made themselves at home in the upper end of town, hardly anyone gets in there anymore.
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
Me? Nah, I don't have much say here myself. There are a few people in the lower city who have enough influence to get you past the guards. Mateo, my boss, is one of them. Maybe you should talk to him.
Where can I find Mateo?
You're standing right outside his shop. Just go on in. He's practically always there.
What about the other influential citizens?
The merchants and master craftsmen here on the main street are the most important figures in the city. You should try to get accepted by one of them as an apprentice like me. Since I started working for Mateo, the people in the city treat me with respect.
I can't believe that.
I need some money, and I'm looking for work.
I've heard that Bosper has trouble with his suppliers. His shop is right over there. They say he pays pretty well.
can't keep
What do you have to offer?
At the moment, I don't have much choice. The damned landowner doesn't deliver anymore. And what we get from the small farms isn't enough to meet the demands of the city.
Tell me more about the peasants' revolt.
It's quite simple. Onar, the fat landowner, won't pay any more taxes to the city. Imagine, we're at war with the orcs, and that fat slob wants everything for himself. Normally, the city guard would take firm measures in such cases. But now comes the best part. They say Onar has hired mercenaries to keep the troops from the city off his back. Mercenaries. The whole thing will end in a damn war, as if one war weren't enough.
That's not what I heard.
What do you know about Onar's mercenaries?
I heard that most of them are former convicts from the mining colony, and their leader's supposed to have been a big shot with the king, a general or something, whom they put away as a traitor. These are terrible times.
Show me your wares.
He can't keep
Oh, he has apples. We'll get all of them.
Someone's gonna do the work.
Okay, I wanna play a bit differently than the last time, so I will try to clear the quests as soon as possible. So let's see if we have some quests straight away that we can do before we pick up new ones. Get into upper quarter. Yeah, we need to become citizen, missing people, amend with eye patch, portal, water mage, ring of water. Yeah, so with the missing people, portal. Oh, we should have spoken to guys on farm about this. Yeah, should have done that. Water mages, ring of water. Okay, so we need to speak to Watress. Yeah, so we'll do the ring of water straight away before we do anything else.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
So that's a water mage there. Let's speak to him.
Adanas be with you.
Who are you?
I am Vatos, a servant of Adanas, the guardian of the divine and earthly equilibrium. What can I do for you?
Tell me about the ring of water.
And why would I do that?
Cavalorn sent me to you.
And what did he tell you?
He said you're in dire need of more good people.
Aha. So, you want to join us, son?
I want to join the ring of water.
You do? Well, that means you have already fulfilled the first requirement.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, there must be someone among us who trusts you. Otherwise, you wouldn't even know about it. But I know nothing about you at all.
What do you want to know?
Well, you could tell me where you come from and why you have come to the city.
I carry an important message for the leader of the paladins.
What is this message?
A large army is gathering as we talk, led by dragons and determined to conquer the country.
Dragons? You speak of beings which until now have only been mentioned in legends. How do you know this?
Xardas, the magician, told me. He sent me to warn the paladins.
The necromancer? So he lives, and he sent you. Who are you really?
I'm a former convict from the penal colony of Khorinis.
Good. Let us summarize. You are a former prisoner who has been told by Xardas, the necromancer, that dragons have come to conquer the country. And you have come to report this to the paladins. That all sounds rather fantastic, but I cannot perceive that you are lying to me. Therefore, I must assume that your motives are honorable. I want to give you a chance to join the Ring of Water.
If I remember correctly, if we lie to him, he... well, he will figure that out. So it's that's kind of the only mage that we should probably be honest with. So Xardas told us not to tell anybody about him, but I think in this case it's actually okay.
Tell me about the Ring of Water.
Since you are not yet a member of our community, I cannot tell you everything, of course, but I shall tell you what I may.
Who are the members of the Ring of Water, then?
I cannot tell you that until you join the ring, but you will certainly have met some of them by that time.
Where are the other water mages?
They are exploring the ruins of an old culture northeast of Khorinis. We suspect that those ruins might contain a passage to a part of the island which is as yet uncharted.
Tell me more about that uncharted area.
If you're interested in joining the expedition, I could send you to Xardas with a letter. You can only participate, of course, as long as you're one of us.
Of course. What exactly is it that you do?
We stand between the Order of Innos and the chaos of Beliar. If one of the two sides should gain the upper hand, it will mean either total loss of freedom or deadly chaos. Therefore, we guard the balance between the two. That's what makes life in this world possible for all.
And what does that mean in concrete terms?
The fall of the barrier has evoked numerous threats. The bandits are probably the most obvious one. Not only has it become all but impossible to travel the island without being attacked, there's someone in town, too, who supports the bandits. We have found out that the bandits receive regular deliveries from a weapons merchant in Khorinis. We try to find such people and keep them from endangering the city. If you can find out anything about this, let me know.
About this weapons dealer. How much do you know about the weapons dealer?
Ask Martin, the provisions master of the paladins, about this. He should be able to tell you more. He has been tasked with unmasking the weapons dealer. You can find Martin in the harbor district. If you see a heap of crates, provision, and paladins, Martin won't be far.
What must I do in order to join the ring?
Know that you take on great responsibility by joining the ring. I do not let just anyone join who comes to us and asks. If you want to join the ring, you will have to prove that you act like one of us.
And that means...
Before we let a young man join our ranks, he must have done a great deed for the ring. Only then can I begin to consider letting you help preserve the balance of forces on this island.
I have vanquished the Sleeper. Isn't that a great enough deed?
My ears hear many a tale these days, including the story about the banning of the beast called the Sleeper. I have not heard that this was achieved by a single man, although your eyes tell me that you are convinced you did this. That confuses me slightly, but I cannot be sure that my senses might not deceive me sometimes.
I have freed many people. The barrier is gone.
Even if you can really claim responsibility for that. The great event in the Valley of Mines has not only set free the water mages and other upright citizens. All the criminals of the entire country are roaming Khorinis these days, harassing the population. The bandits have already taken over large areas of land outside the city. It has become all but impossible to leave the town and return unharmed.
So what would be an appropriate deed that might convince you?
Khorinis is facing a great enigma these days. The number of people missing from the town seems to increase almost daily. If you can explain to me what happened to them, You shall have your place within the Ring of Water. However,
Yes?
you should take your message to the paladins first. I consider it a matter of utmost importance. Talk to Lord Hagen.
But Lord Hagen is not going to receive me.
Yes, he will, no doubt about it, provided you become a member of a powerful community first. The Ring has far-reaching connections. We shall assist you in conveying your message as soon as possible. You should talk about this to Laris, whom I trust. He will help you.
What community should I join?
There are only 3 communities that have enough influence. These are the City Militia, the Monastery of the Fire Magicians, and the troop of mercenaries on the landowner's farm. The choice is yours, son. Laris can certainly assist you with this difficult decision. Talk to him about it.
I shall do that. Is there anything that could help me with my search?
You're very persistent, young man. But I actually can think of something that could make your tasks easier for you. I shall give you this ore amulet. You'll certainly be able to use it. It is an amulet of the searching will-o'-the-wisps. There are only very few of them. The will-o'-the-wisp that inhabits this amulet has very special properties. It can help you find things that normally elude the naked eye. You summon it by simply wearing the amulet. If it loses its power, or you cannot find it, simply put on the amulet again and it will reappear. The will-o'-the-wisp can detect weapons. It could be very helpful to you in investigating the weapons deliveries to the bandits. Treat it well, and it will never fail you.
A will-o'-the-wisp in an amulet?
Will-o'-the-wisps are admirable creatures. They consist of pure magical energy. They are bound to the magical ore in this world. It is their origin. It gives them their strength. I'm not surprised that you've never heard of them. They only appear to the person who bears the ore to which they belong. Will-o'-the-wisps living in the wild have been forcefully removed from their sources. They will attack anyone who approaches them. There is no way to help those pitiful creatures. You had better stay away from them.
Can the will-o'-the-wisp do more than that?
More than look for close combat weapons? Not unless you teach it. I think Riordian knows how to teach these beings. He is one of us, currently traveling with Xardas. Perhaps he can tell you more.
Thank you. I shall take good care of it. I've got this stone tablet. Can you tell me more about it?
Those are artifacts from the old culture, which we have been investigating for some time. There are several kinds of them. Some contain information about the history of the ancient people, and that is the kind I am interested in. Bring me all of those that you can find. I shall give you an appropriate reward.
If I remember correctly...
Wait, if you see Laris, give him this ornament and tell him that it needs to be returned. He'll know what to do with it.
Okay, so I was going to say, giving him, like in bulk, those tablets, we get better rewards, I think. So let's see what we get.
I've got another stone tablet for you.
Great! Here, take a few potions as a reward.
So I think he give us permanent potions if we give him 10 of those. So I'll have to test that out. For now I will keep those tablets. And also we have that letter for him from Kevlaron, was it? And if we break a seal, it's going to be, well, he probably won't be happy, so we'll break the seal Okay, thanks man. King Nero 1 says if you give him 10 or more you get permanent mana. 1 tablet, 1 mana. Yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking too. I haven't like played in a long time, so I kind of didn't remember correctly what was the deal with that. Yeah, it's cool, we'll collect more. I won't give him straight away the tablets. So I'm going to break the seal now and read the message, and if he is not happy I'll reload. Yeah, why not? Okay, so let's read it. Dear Vatos, we have advanced to the portal. You were correct. It indeed appears that they were believers in the Adanos. I ask you to verify this once again with the help of my notes. We have not spotted any of those curious stone beings for days. Nevertheless, the earth continues to quake for no apparent reason. I suspect that our studies will soon bring us more enlightenment. The ornament which we found has far more important significance than we first thought. It seems to be a crucial key artifact. Unless it's not complete, we must study it further. Dispatch one of your children from the Ring of Water to bring it back to us. If possible, do not send Kevlaron. Why not? I have assisted him to deliver this letter to you. I think that is enough for him to do. I hope we are doing the right thing. Xardas. Okay, so if you played Gothic 1, you know who Xardas is. But if not, like, yeah, we'll see him later on. So let's see what happens if we give him the letter now.
Here, I've got a letter for you.
For me? Yes, but it's been opened. I hope it didn't fall into the wrong hands.
Okay, so we got 50 experience. Yeah, I cannot reload if I don't like go through the conversation. So let's reload, see how much XP we get if we do not open it. Probably more. Okay.
Here, I've got a letter for you.
For me? Indeed. This is an important message you're bringing me. I wonder how you got hold of this letter.
I got it from Kevlaron, the hunter.
Kevlaron? Where is he?
He told me to tell you he couldn't make it and is headed for the meeting point. Whatever he meant by that.
I see that you have gained Kevlaron's trust. That speaks in your favor.
Things I could tell you. I've heard a thing or two. Will it ever change?
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
Can you teach me something about magic?
Only the chosen of Innos and the chosen of Adanos are permitted to work rune magic. But common mortals can also work magic with the help of spell scrolls. I can show you how you can channel and expand your magic powers.
That will never change. Can you heal me?
Adanos, bless this body. Free it of its wounds and strengthen it with new life.
I don't know if I was hurt. I think I was. Okay, what else? We can make a donation? I don't think I will do that. I don't know if giving him donations gives you any, like, permanent buffs or something. I don't think so. So if you know about that, please tell me if it's kind of worthwhile to invest into that. I think, let's see, tell me about gods.
Tell me about the gods.
What exactly would you like to know?
Tell me about Beliar.
Beliar is the dark god of death, destruction, and all things unnatural. He is in eternal battle with Innos, but Adanos guards the balance between the two. Only a few humans follow the call of Beliar. However, he grants great strength to those who do.
Wow. Okay, so King Nero says don't donate to him, does nothing, and for some reason your next message got halt, and the message says donating to Fire Rage in town does. That's a different story. Yeah, like I know that donating to some mage has some effect. I was kind of not sure because I haven't played the game in a long time. Why did your message got blocked? Donating to Furniture Town does. It's different stuff. I don't know what.
No idea. You tell me.
It got blocked because you, because of this. Why is that? Though. Why? What's the reason? Okay, so I will add that to permit it. I think that's how I do it. This is still new to me, like stream setup, so I don't know why that happened. That's weird.
Tell me about Adanos.
Adanos is the god of the center. He is the scales of justice and guardian of the balance between Innos and Beliar. He commands the power of change. His gift is the water in all the oceans, rivers, and lakes. His priests are the water mages, just as I am a servant and priest of Adanos.
Tell me about Innos.
Very well. Innos is the first and highest god. He created the sun and the world. He commands light and fire, his gifts to humanity. He is law and justice. His priests are the magicians of fire. The paladins are his warriors. He listened to the wrong people.
I think I finished all the conversations with him, so we won't donate. As King Nero once says, does nothing. Tell me about gods, power, stone tablets. Yes, we finished the conversation. So we have to find a place. Actually, why not run during the night? I tend to not run during the night because it's kinda really hard to see on stream, but I think it's kind of fine in town. Because the compression of video, like it's during the night, everything gets even more blockier and like it's crap to watch. I think actually like this version of the game, like the vanilla version, is actually better for streaming. That Livers mode was kind of too dark during the night with DX11. But I think it's kind of fine now. So Vatos sends us to Laris, so like speak to Laris. Can't pronounce it right.
Hey. Vatos sent me. He told me to come to you when I needed help.
So you've already been to see Vatos? You must have made a lasting impression on him. Otherwise, he certainly wouldn't have volunteered my name. Especially not since the matter with those missing people still hasn't been resolved. Tell me what you need.
Okay, so King Nero says on Livers, you press F11 and make it more bright if you want, if you wish. Yeah, I know, but it's kind of fine for me how the game looks, but it comes really like dark on stream. Like I like it dark, but you guys cannot see like nothing, and if I increase it during the night, like the brightness, then I have to decrease it during the day. It's kind of, I don't know. That's simply the way with streaming. I can also increase the brightness in OBS for you guys, but then it's maybe going to be too bright during the day. So I guess I don't like to mess with that, so we'll use torches and lights, and hopefully I won't forget to use torches and lights. I usually do. So if I forget about it, feel free to remind me that I should be using a torch.
Vatos gave me this ornament to bring to you. He said it is to be taken back.
Of course. It's up to me, as usual. I might have known. I'll have to walk halfway across the island to take it back to the water mages.
I could take the ornament there for you.
I think I'd better take it there myself. But you could come with me. Only, I can't leave here at the moment. I need to keep an eye on the harbor.
What exactly do you do here at the harbor?
I can't talk about that. Vatos would have my head.
What exact?
I can't talk.
I need your help.
And what exactly were you thinking of?
We can only wait and see to believe everything you hear.
I need some money.
Don't we all? Sorry, but I have none to give you. But Lamar, the moneylender, still owes me a favor. Go to him and borrow whatever money you need. I'll take care of the rest. You'll find Lamar in the harbor district, where it borders on the lower part of town.
So yeah, if I remember correctly, like in vanilla without Night of the Raven, if you borrow the money and not return it, you get into the trouble. But with Night of the Raven, you can borrow it and not give it back, since Laris will cover for you. Maybe if you do not speak to Laris first and borrow the money, then you get into the trouble. I don't know. But yeah, in a vanilla, I remember getting into trouble for not returning the money. So I don't know. By the way, King Nero, how many times did you play the game and like Gothic 2, and when was the last time you finished one playthrough?
What
Vatos.
about those missing people? Tell me what you know.
The first was William, one of the fishermen here in Khorinis. One day, he simply didn't return. At first, we thought that one of those sea monsters out there had eaten him in his boat for breakfast. But not too long afterwards, other people started disappearing from the town and the surroundings. Pretty random events, though. Everyone's at a loss so far. The way it looks, we'll just have to wait until we finally stumble across a clue.
Okay, so King Nero says like 20 times, give or take. Yeah, man, you're a veteran, so you can like give me tips. Just like not on story side. Let me like if I don't remember something, let me figure it out. But any other tips like for skills, like you told me about that those tablets, anything like goes. It's going to be useful to me, and I appreciate it. Oh, cool. So, yeah, like year ago was my final run. With livers, difficulty 0. That's on whole playthrough. Yeah, cool, man. That's quite an achievement. I don't. Well, if I like tried really hard not to die and like pull back everything like that I'm doing, I might manage not to die once, but that's quite an achievement. I usually don't try that. So yeah, I've played it. Let's actually go a bit through conversation, and I will continue talking to you as soon as I go through this.
Isn't this a case for the militia?
The militia is pretty useless if you ask me. They're never going to clear this up. The missing people have just vanished into thin air.
nothing's ever gonna change. I have to feel sorry for the poor guy.
Wouldn't be so sure. I don't believe this is gonna change.
Vatos said you could help me join a community.
Getting tired of being the underdog, are you? All right, I see your point. I can exert my influence with the mercenaries if you want to join Lee. And I'm sure we can find a way to get you into the monastery soon. But the easiest thing would certainly be for you to join the militia. Which community do you prefer?
So for this playthrough, I will go with mercenaries. So yeah, let me read the message. So yeah, it was hard, I failed a lot, easy to get killed. Yeah, in the beginning it's really easy if you don't have a good armor. Like the armor means so much.
The mercenaries.
I'm sure that Lee will accept you. But first, you're going to have to pass a test. Go and talk to Cord on Onar's farm. He can help you with your test. Tell him that you reside beneath my wing. He'll understand.
Yeah, so Kigner says maybe not choose mercenaries, militia quiz will give you XP. Yeah, like I did that when in my previous playthrough I chosen militia. I think it's probably like the most useful one was with if you wanna join mages, because they ask for a lot of money, and I think he can help you get there without a lot of money. Yeah, I think I will actually reload and listen to you, because you can like the Cord is going to speak to you anyways, even if Laris doesn't like help you, I think. So that's probably a good idea. Thanks for that. Oh, wait. I didn't save before I went to Laris. Okay, I'll skip really fast through the conversation so far that we got into. Yeah, so thanks for that tip. Definitely useful. When I think about it, yeah. So if the Cord, I know definitely will know that we can tell him that we know Laris, I think. And I know that for fire mages, I think it was, let's see, no I didn't. Yeah, like I was really OCD about saving so far, but when I started reading your message, I kinda stopped thinking about saving. So yeah, I got distracted a bit. But yeah, it's cool. It's, well, more fun to talk to somebody along, like, playing the game. So yeah. Let's give him the letter.
Here.
Yeah, the Adam.
Indeed.
And let's save the game. I'll guess this is getting messy. Maybe I should start deleting the numbers. Say I'm backing up the save game after each stream and deleting all the save games. Like I back up everything, then I delete, make empty slots so I have for the next stream. And that way, if for some unforeseen reason the save games get bugged,
Hey,
oh
I
no.
don't know you. What do you want here? Are you headed for the tavern?
Just like you hardly know what to believe anymore.
You already know what I think. I don't want
No, I'm not headed for the tavern.
Yeah, that's what I would have said. But that isn't important, and that's why we can get straight down to business. Since you're new here, I'll make you an offer.
Did you pick that
You
up?
give me 50 gold pieces and you can go. That's your entrance fee for the tavern.
We can only wait and see. Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
It can't go on like this forever. There have been all kinds of rumors.
I don't know if I can beat him. Probably I can. But I didn't save. Okay, let's try it anyway.
Forget it. You won't get a single coin.
Then I'll take everything you have. As soon as you're lying on the ground in front of me.
This is gonna change. Why won't they let me?
Finish him! the ticket.
Don't stop now! Finish
That's the
him!
ticket.
Finish
That's the
him!
ticket.
What you waiting
Boy.
for?
Yeah, really wasn't planning on entering the tavern straight away. Like, wanted to follow the water mage's storyline, but the guy stopped me. I think the game lagged a bit, I don't know why. I'm running it in window mode, so that might
We'll see
be
about that.
not the best option.
All right, you win. What do you want?
You know your way about the harbor, don't you?
Sure thing. Why?
What kind of rumors are floating about?
Around here, we don't like people who ask too many questions. Especially not if they're strangers.
Why don't I see any militia?
They don't dare come in here. We take care of things ourselves.
How's the shipping traffic?
The only ship that's come here recently is the paladins ship. It's over there behind the rocky ridge to the southwest.
Can't believe that about that. Why haven't I heard about this before?
Okay, that worked out. Let's save the game. I will start saving maybe from a second one. Actually, okay, that one. Delete everything.
I've got my own opinion about
Hey, you!
Nobody ever asks.
So, yeah, this. Went through that one.
What?
He doesn't want to tell us. I need help. Okay.
Vatos said...
I can exert my influence, and I'm sure...
Okay, so we should have chosen Militia.
The militia.
Yes, I can imagine you'd like that, eh? Read the law to other people while you're pocketing their purses. The paladins have set up their provisions store by the harbor. Their provisions master is a good friend of mine.
Let's wait and see what happens.
Maybe he can do something for you. His name is Martin.
As if I didn't ask nothing.
So what's your business with Vatos?
I've got this little agreement with the water mages, you see.
What kind of an agreement?
We work for them, and they see to it that our past in the penal colony doesn't get us into trouble.
You're talking about the Ring of Water?
You've heard of it?
Vatos told me about it.
You might have mentioned that right away.
What exactly do you do here at the harbor?
I'm doing what we all do. I fulfill the tasks the water mages give me. Some of the missing people were fishermen. They disappeared along with their boats. That's why I'm standing here, watching the harbor. Maybe something will happen yet. But you could help me. Listen, I shall give you my aquamarine ring. It signifies that the bearer belongs to the Ring of Water. If you wear my ring, the rest of us will know that you're acting on my behalf. Get someone to take over my duties so that I can take the ornament back. One of us is always keeping an eye on the marketplace, but I don't know whose turn it is. You had better go talk to all those standing around there. Once the right man sees my aquamarine ring on you, he will let you know. Tell him to see to it that somebody else takes over here at the harbor.
I've heard a thing or two.
About...
You don't have to ask me that.
Tell me what you know.
The first was William, one of the fishermen here in Khorinis. One day, he simply didn't return. At first, we thought that one of those sea monsters out there had eaten him in his boat for breakfast. But not too long afterwards, other people started disappearing from the town and the surroundings. Pretty random events, though. Everyone's at a loss so far. The way it looks, we'll just have to wait until we finally stumble across a clue.
Let's wait and see what happens.
Maybe I went already through this conversation, but just in case.
Isn't this a case for the militia?
The militia is pretty useless if you ask me. They're never going to clear this up. The missing people have just vanished into thin air.
Let's wait and see what happens. Where did you pick that from me?
Tell me more about the Ring of Water.
That's totally obvious.
The ring is to the water mages what the paladins are to the fire magicians. But, unlike the paladins, we operate in the background. The ring is a mighty weapon in the battle against the dangers that threaten the people of Khorinis. But this only works as long as we keep the identity of all those secret who belong to the Ring of Water. So keep this to yourself.
Sure.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
I want to join the Ring of Water.
That's fine with me. But the decision about whether you will be accepted or not lies with the water mages alone.
What did you do to impress the water mages?
I protected them for a long time when we were still living with the barrier, and they have plenty of reason to be grateful to me.
We can only wait and see that.
What's it like to belong to the Ring?
We are very different from the usual communities you can join here in Khorinis. Once you're one of us, we're not going to ask anything of you that you are not ready to do. The only thing we truly require of you is to keep quiet. We work in secret and do not want to let outsiders know who our members are. We shall keep an eye on you. Everything else remains to be seen.
I don't believe this is gonna change.
I see.
I wouldn't feel sorry for the poor guy. We're not touching that.
Okay, I did get a level, so maybe get even more. Actually, I won't spend learning points straight away. Let's see. Leave 4 ladders, missing people. Yeah, we have quite a few quests now.
Don't say you didn't know that.
Which one should I do? Well, really for Lars. I thought he should also tell us something about... I asked for money, I think. I could have asked for armor. And I'm pretty sure he should tell us that we can use a sleep scroll. So I kind of didn't went through that conversation. But he tell us that we can use a sleep scroll on this guy. So I won't go back to conversation, that would be really boring. And this is storage room there that's guarded by this guard. But there are a few ways that you can get there. I mean, you can straight up, well, try to fight him. That's stupid. You can use the sleep scroll as like Lara tells you, and you can also climb over this wall here, or I saw somebody on one video that I was watching climb this lamppost. That's like a third way to do. I think he did it this way. I never did it this way. I usually did it from that other roof. New world, interesting. Okay, let's kind of delete this and just add one there. I'm so organized with my save games. Oh, nope. I never did it this way, so I might mess it up a few times before I do it correctly. Yeah, my torch is... I guess, yeah, from the highest point, probably. Torchy. There we go. Yeah. From back? You mean from back of the house? I know that way, but I also seen somebody do it this way, so I wanted to try it out. It would make sense for like to jump from the highest point, and I should probably land there. I just need to time it right, I think. If not... Oh, there we go. Did you know about that one? I usually did it from this wall, so I climbed that wall, ran to that edge, and end up jumping here. That's the way that I like found out. Also was told by somebody when I found out in my previous streaming of Gothic with Livers mode. Like the guy Nikolai told me about that. So yeah, I usually either use a sleep scroll or fight him, then use Oblivion scroll on him. But this is probably the best way. Actually, I don't remember. Maybe I even figured it out like for the first time. Like when I was playing, that was really long time ago. I think maybe, I don't know, say 10 years or 8 years, but it was really long time ago, so my memory of the game is pretty much wiped out. Which is kind of cool, since you kind of play the game and enjoy it a bit more. Like nostalgia with the old games. I would play Gothic anytime over like some newer game. So I kinda this year decided to replay all the Gothics. So far I did Gothic 1, completed it, and then tried Gothic 2 with Livers mode, and yeah, I wasn't really happy. I was playing some version of Liver mode that doesn't change quests, but it wasn't that good. Okay, so King Nero says, if there is a lot in chest, you can spam space and it will pick up everything in a second. Oh, cool. I didn't know about that. I know that you can pick up stacks faster with Alt on or Control, something like that. But I didn't know about spamming spacebar. I usually just hold left click until everything gets picked up. Thanks for the tip. So it would be really cool. I know he like won't react to that. Oh, there's the torch.
What can I do for you?
But it would be really cool if he noticed that you stole that armor from him, but I know that he won't.
What are you selling?
I can offer you everything you need to survive in the wild. Weapons, torches, provisions, even armor. I still have a special piece in stock. Double hardened armor of snapper leather, still unused. Interested?
Yeah, and it would be interesting if he didn't have that armor since we stole it from back there.
Show me your wares.
Okay, so I will take all of his arrows, though he doesn't have much. No apples, so let's clear up our inventory a bit. Do we need a pickaxe for something? I can't remember if we can like mine something in Gothic 2 without modes and like that. I know we can do it in Gothic 3. So King Nir says, what is in the bag belongs to Militia paladins now. Mateo has more than one armor. Yeah, that also makes sense. I was kind of, I don't know. I thought that that was his, but the Militia is kind of holding, like, guarding it. Okay, we cleared that out. Yeah, we don't need all of these citizen clothes, if I remember correctly. Do we need these clothes for something, or I can sell them? I kind of remember that maybe I need to give somebody, like, we gave the pirate that worker clothes, but I think I need to give somebody our armor, maybe. I don't think I need citizen clothes for anything. Okay, so yeah, we'll save one. King Nero says you can save one for naked guy in DLC. I was thinking about that guy, so yeah, I'll sell. Just leave one of it. Okay, cool. They sell for only 18. I thought I would earn more money from that. Okay, let's like go to the conversation.
What do you know about paladins?
Since these bastards have come to the city, I've had nothing but trouble. The last time I was headed for the upper end of town, the guards flat out stopped me and asked me what was my business there.
And?
Of course they let me in. I had my shop in the city when most of those pompous asses were still chasing pigs with wooden swords. And yesterday, the bastards came and confiscated half of my goods.
The paladins seized your goods?
Everything I had stored in the backyard. They simply posted a guard in front of the entrance to the yard. If I'm lucky, they won't take everything. At least they might leave the armor here.
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
What? What are you going to do there?
I've got an important message.
Well, well. Have you tried getting past the guards?
I don't see why I should even try.
You're probably right. I don't know how important your message is, and it's none of my business. But even if you told them that a ship full of orcs just anchored in the harbor, they'd send you away. Because they have their orders.
So can you help me get into the upper quarter?
It seems to be really important to you. The question is, how important is it to you?
What are you getting at?
I can help you. After all, I'm one of the most influential people here. But it'll cost you.
What are you asking for your help?
100 gold pieces.
That's a whole damn lot.
Take it easy. It isn't your gold I have in mind.
But...
in principle, it's my gold. Gritta, the carpenter's niece, hasn't paid what she owes me in ages. But the little brat is constantly running around in new clothes. That means she has the money. I'd like to beat it out of her. But Master Thorben, the carpenter, is also a very influential man. Get me the money and I'll help you.
Where can I find this Gritta?
Like I said, she's the carpenter's niece. His house is down the street, the last house on the right before the smithy.
How exactly can you help me?
Quite simple. I'll use my influence to see to it that one of the master craftsmen here takes you on as an apprentice. As such, you'll practically be a citizen of the city and can enter the upper quarter. Besides which, you'll earn something while you're at it.
Help me sign on as an apprentice with one of the masters.
One thing at a time. First fulfill your part of the deal.
Where could I sign on as an apprentice then?
Basically, with any master here on the main street. That would be Harrod the smith, Bospa the bowmaker, Thorben the carpenter, or Constantino the alchemist. One of them is bound to take you on. But it's important that the other masters agree. That's always been the custom here in Khorinis.
How do I get the approval of the other masters?
You just have to convince them. Go and talk to them. But if more than one of them is against you, you don't stand a chance. So behave yourself.
Why don't you take me on as an apprentice?
I would, but the other masters wouldn't agree. I just recently took on another apprentice.
Is there another way to get into the upper quarter?
Perhaps. If I think of anything, I'll let you know.
Well, that's one weird torch. I don't know why that is happening. Like, that kind of stuff would be like really common for DirectX 11, but I didn't think it will happen in just the regular game. Oh, this is Hunt and Prey, Bloodflies. Yeah, I already read that one. Oh, it's back. We have a torch. Let's sleep to the next morning. Yeah, the torch is still there. Can I put it away without dropping it? Yes, I can. For like a really long time I thought that the only way to put away the torch is to pull the weapon and drop it on the ground. Yeah, that's not fun. Okay, so let's save here. And actually, I should have saved over the last one since I'm going to be ending the stream shortly. So,